Hello and welcome to Freedom Life School Podcast. I am Paul Drake, your host. Today we're going to talk about how to get a growth mindset like a champion instantly, even if you struggled to do it before. Now, before we get into the episode, I would like to get you to subscribe, like, comment, share. If you find anything today interesting or knowledgeable, then please feel free to let the channel grow by passing it on to other people. Now, at the end of the episode, there is a chance to get a 6-week course for free. So stay tuned and I'll tell you how you can get that at the end of the podcast. So today I just want to go a little bit into the backstory about why I've decided to choose about getting a growth mindset. Now the reason I've chosen this topic today is because it's one of the first things that you need to do to creating a better life, and that is creating a better mindset within yourself. Because there's so many times in life that our mind decides to play tricks on us. It decides to tell us things that aren't necessarily true. They put in new emotions, new fears. They hold you back because of, say, emotions that have happened previously. So having a growth mindset and knowing to yourself that whatever you do in your life is down to you and how much you can put into it is the best way to create a mindset of a champion. So the first things first is to create a growth mindset. Now, how would you do that? You do that by learning new things on a very regular basis. Now, if it's down one route where you want to be like specific, you want to master one subject, then you want to go down there, master that subject, and then you can change from then if you want to move on. Or it could be a growth mindset as in you want to change every aspect of your life and still go down the route of courses, books. Now, having a growth mindset is like, it's like having a finely tuned car. If you've got a car that doesn't run right, it's spluttering, and it's just not the best it can be, that's because generally it might need a service, it might need fuel, it might need new parts in its engine. Whereas if you've got a growth mindset, the engine is finely tuned, then obviously it's going to run a lot better, and your days and your weeks and your months and your years will run a lot smoother because you've practiced and you've put effort into making yourself progress. Now, one of the best ways to get a growth mindset is by surrounding yourself with people who have the same aspirations, have the same goals, have the same mentality as what you want to achieve. So say you want to, become a professional footballer. Now, if you've decided that that's the route you want to go down, the best way to do that is by practicing and then getting yourself into a team, because everyone on the team has got the same mindset of becoming a professional footballer, and then you all strive to produce better work and push each other because you all got the same thing. Now, the thing about surrounding yourself with others is they say you are the comparison to the closest 5 friends that you're around, and that's with your mental, that's with your spiritual, that's with your wealth. So if you've got 5 groups of if you're around a group of 5 people and they're all negative, or they're all they're not very goal orientated, they're quite lazy, then obviously you putting the effort in is going to seem strange to all your 4 friends. So you're going to think to yourself, hang on a minute here, I don't want to seem like the outsider. So you'll end up holding yourself back just to sort of suit everyone that's around you, which in my opinion isn't the way to go. So sometimes you might have to lose friends. Sometimes you might have to change and see if they follow you. If they don't, then it's just one of them things. But on the other side of it, if they do, then great. Then they can keep growing with you, and you can kind of create a mastermind, and then you can just keep transforming and moving forward. If not, there's different ways to do it. You can go onto Facebook. There's loads of different groups. Like there's groups on all sorts of different stuff. So even if it's not friends like right next to you, at least it's friends as in the sense of you've got a community of people that's all like-minded and that all want the same things. Now, the best way I can think of is to try and move quickly, because taking your time over something like a growth mindset is kind of like on the grey, blurry areas. Because at the end of the day, you want to be changing things faster than trying to hold back and trying to, you know, try and listen to your own self-limiting beliefs. Because at the end of the day, if you're going and pushing yourself quicker and more forward faster, then obviously you're going to achieve more in a short amount of time. Don't get me wrong, you've still got to learn it, and you've still got to make sure that you're keeping yourself progressing, and you want to make sure you're keeping yourself not going too fast so you actually absorb the knowledge that you want. Now, have you ever started a course and you've got about halfway through and then life comes in and stops it? Or have you got halfway through a book, or have you read one book and then thought to yourself, well, I don't feel any different? Well, I've also thought exactly the same. Ended up reading the book all the way through, not really absorbing quite a lot of it, and I kind of thought, well, this book hasn't really changed my life. Well, this then it comes down to repetitions and repetitions and repetitions. It's like going to the gym. If you go to the gym, going the once isn't going to really do much. You go the second time, it's still not going to do much. Go the third time, you're starting to maybe get into it, fourth, fifth, and as the weeks progress, you start seeing results. It is exactly the same with a growth mindset. If you want to change who you are, it takes repetition. Imagine from when you were a child to now, say you're 30 years old. For the last 30 years, you've been fed absolute bullshit by other people's self-limiting beliefs and what they believe is true, like from your parents telling you can't do this, or you should go and do that, to now you're thinking to yourself, well, in fact, I want to change and I want to do this. But then you've got all these horrible negative beliefs in your head because you've been, I'd say, forced to believe what other people believed, which isn't their fault, because their parents have done the same to them, and their parents have done the same to them. So now it's about trying to change the person who you are by unlearning the bullcrap that you've learnt from other people, and you deciding and dictating what you actually want to do in your life, because it's yours. It's not up to anyone else. Now, this has happened to me recently because I've decided to take a massive leap of faith, stop working, and do my online work full time without an income coming in. Most people think I'm crazy. Most people think I'm stupid. And that is up to them, and it's their opinion. And I slightly see where they're coming from, because you do need money and stuff coming in. But there's other ways to go about things. And if I didn't do it this way, I felt like I didn't have the right amount of ingredients to make the perfect recipe. It don't make sense, but because now I have the time to do what I can do, and I love doing it, I can put all my effort into that instead of most of the day, which is about, I'd say 80% of the day, I was filled up with, in fact, I'll probably say more than 80%, about 90% of my day was filled up with doing meaninglessly crappy stuff like working, like sorting out the housework, taking dog for a walk, all this bullshit that just didn't serve me to my full purpose. Is now I've got all the day. I still got to do the meaningless stuff like maybe walking dog, clean house, stuff like that, but until I can pay enough people. And when I can pay people, they'll be cleaning my house, they'll be walking my dog. But this is what I'm saying. You need to get into that growth mindset. My growth mindset is I want to earn enough money to be financially free and to be able to do whatever I want and pay anyone, so I don't have to do the tasks that I find meaningless and that don't serve me to be the best of myself. So, yeah, I've taken a leap of faith. It might work out, it might not, but at least I've taken that leap, and I've put every effort into doing it. So, it's trying to unlearn, basically, unmentally unscrew yourself from all these people, and they tell you on the news and stuff like that. It's just the whole schools telling you that it's like a fear. That's all they teach you to learn is fear, and it's just a load of crap. Now, you need to take control of your mindset. How you do that is literally, as I said, you need to figure out what you want in life, how it makes you tick over, what makes you like passionate, what makes you have enjoyment, happiness. Change the mindset, read stuff, look on YouTube, look on Google. Literally, there's loads and loads of free stuff about mindset on YouTube. Loads of it. It's so simple these days to find a medium that you love and you enjoy doing, like reading, or you can watch it, or you can listen to it. Anything you possibly want, so then you can enjoy your life. Like there's there's so many people that have given up on trying to actually better their lives, which I find quite a bad and sorry state, because they get to about 30, 35, and they kind of say to themselves, well, this is it now for the rest of my life. I'm going to be doing meaningless jobs. I'm going to be unhappy. I'm going to feel trapped. I'm going to feel like I'm like suffocating in my own world, because I don't know how to break out of it. Now, I've also felt these problems. I've also had other people tell me that you've just got to do it. You've got to do this. You've got to go to work in that job because it has to pay the bills and it has to do this and this. But if you can find a way to find your true passions and then move forward and move into a better growth mindset, your life will just flip instantly. Absolutely instantly. As soon as you take that, it'll click like that, and it'll just go. Now, I'm just going to stop for a minute. If you're liking what you hear so far, please leave a like, please share, please follow me and subscribe onto YouTube. It really helps the channel grow. As I say, I really want to make this podcast about helping you live a better life. It's the LLB Project, which stands for Live Happy, Live Life Without Regret, and Become Better. That's what I try to live by every single day, and I'm going to try and build a community of people that all want the same thing, because we're here, I'd say, only in this body once. Who knows if we die and we come back as something else? Who knows if we die and then that's it? Who knows if the energy that's inside us ends up going back into the ether and it gets produced into, I don't know, anything, even more stuff. So right now, we know that we've got this life. And if you aren't willing to live your best life, then who's the one to blame if you're unhappy and trapped and miserable? If you're not willing to put the effort in to do it, we can obviously blame other people. We can blame the government. We can blame the way we were brought up. But because I'm giving you these tools, there's no excuse. As soon as you've listened to this, there's no excuse from now on why you can't do it. Literally, pick up some books, start learning, start YouTubing it, start Googling it, and you will become better. Now, this is how you create the skills that you need to create a growth mindset. There's loads of books out there about creating mindset. There's loads of ones about creating a better self-image. There's ones about creating business. There's one creating happiness. There's ones about creating anything. Literally, there's that many people that have done it. You do not need to be like a what do they call it now? When you have someone who's like the creator of something, like you do not need to be the creator of something new, because there's that many people out there and they've produced that much knowledge out there, and it's so easy to get at the fingertips on your phone that you might just as well go out there and experiment. Start reading different people's. There might be one author that you read and you think, you know what, I didn't like that. Then you read the next person saying pretty much the same similar things, but yet he puts it in a different way, different stories, different this, different that, and it just brings it to life, and it just seems to just click in your head. So what one of the things I found is that when people read one book, they expect it to stay in, they expect it to be the be-all and end-all, but in actual fact, you just don't know if that author has wrote in a way that just doesn't connect with you. There might be stories in that book that just think, well, I don't believe in that. Whereas if you read someone else, it says practically the same things, but boom, it's like, well, hey, that's good. So not just that. Now, it's not just about that. It's about finding you as your person as well, about finding your true passions in life. If you can find out that, then that's like a massive step towards creating a growth mindset, because you can then put in the effort that you need to move forward and give you that champion mindset of not stopping. Now, that's why boxers and stuff have got like a good reputation to have such a great mindset, same as athletes. That they've got a passion, they want to do something, and they know that they need to get their life to that next level, and the only people that's going to do it is them pushing themselves to that next level. If that's to train hard, if that's to get better nutrition, if that's to push themselves like extra on them days where other people are slacking, or if that's to read a book about certain ways that the muscle tissues connect, so then you can train them a bit harder than someone else. Just they go into depth on absolutely everything because that's their craft, that's what they want to do. So if you find your passion that you're truly love doing, you're going to be more focused and more willing to put the effort in to go towards that area. Now, it could be basic. You could want to change your job, not even anything massive, but you know your dream job, but you're scared that you're not going to be able to get it because you think your qualifications aren't good enough. You feel like you as a person isn't like evolved enough to go into that job. You might even think that you as a person aren't worthy, which is quite a massive thing. Like a massive thing. Loads of people don't think they're worthy to get the position that they want. So if you're creating these skills, you've changed your growth mindset, and now you're creating skills. You've picked up books in the area that you want to work, and you start reading. By the time you've read a couple books, your confidence, you will just be like sky high, be well higher than you ever thought was even possible. And that's just by learning a little bit. I heard this story. I don't know. I can't remember where it was from now. Yeah, I can't remember where it was from, but it was about this bloke who was a taxi driver. And he used to take like people about, and if they used to wait or anything like that, and he wanted to start his own business. And what he did was he didn't feel very smart, so he got himself a dictionary. I think he was actually an immigrant as well, so like his English weren't very good. So what he did is got a dictionary. Every time he had to stop and stuff like that, what he did was start reading through dictionary. And then what happened? He started getting smarter. And then just after a few pages of, in fact, that was it. I think his missus kept on asking him what these words were. Like, she was asking him, what does this word mean? What does this mean? And because he didn't know, he picked up a dictionary and then started, like, reading sort of words, and it got him smarter. And then he ended up creating this massive taxi firm, making millions and millions and millions of pounds, which we'd never ever thought were possible. And all it took him was to start reading the dictionary. It's crazy. Like, there's so many different life stories about people changing their life just by doing simple steps to begin with. It's not even a massive step. It's just simple, small little steps of start learning the skills that you need, start taking control of your mindset, move forward quickly. So you don't want to stand on an idea for 10 months without doing anything. Get an idea, start learning it now. If it doesn't work, throw it away. You've only wasted... not even wasted, because you've still learned. Like you might think you've wasted, but you've still learned over there. Say you've learned over a couple of months, and then you find out, no, that's not for me. That I've done that a fair few times with certain business. I wanted to be a PT. I failed at that, and as I was doing PT, I decided to try and do a members area, online members area. I did recorded all these videos, recorded about 60 videos. It took me absolutely ages to learn how to edit, to record, to come up with these scripts. And when I launched it, it wasn't for me. I thought, I don't want to do this. Now, most people think that was a waste, because it took me a fair few months. It took me about 6 to 8 months to do. But it wasn't a waste, because I learned how to edit. I learned how to write in a way that was better for scripts. I learned how to evolve a bit better on camera. Because before this, I was absolutely shocking at being on camera, and I still am now. But I'm a lot better than what I were. You think I am now? I'm like a bit monotone and a bit like this on some of the episodes. But I'm a lot better than I used to be. And that's the main thing. I'm better than I used to be. So I keep progressing further and further. And I tried doing a high ticket one where I was selling personal training for high ticket, so higher price. I did a 5-day course, and I come down to it. And at the end of that, I wasn't good at selling. I figured out that I was absolutely shocking at selling. Like, before this I knew it was bad, and then when I come to that, I realised how bad I actually was. So then that's when I needed to create a better way of communicating, a better way of coming up with things, and yeah, I learned from that. I didn't carry on doing it, but I learned. I learned things that I needed to do, like I've got Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. Great book, how to create copywriting, so create headlines, create like sales copy, so what you put in your messages on internet and stuff like that. There's so many different ways. If there's things in your life that you want to change, there's an easy way to do it, and that is by creating a growth mindset. Right, anyway, that's it for today. What I want you to do is subscribe. Please subscribe, hit the like, follow me. You've got all my social medias around here somewhere. Yeah, I really appreciate you listening in, and I really hope that I've brought a bit of somewhat to you today, and I hope that whatever you've learned today, you can start proceeding and put into your life, so then you can become better every single day. Right, that's it for today, guys, and I'll see you again soon.